What's up, twin? Sorry I've been a little MIA. Um, I was going to make a video after graduation. I didn't graduate. A lot of people I went to, classmates did. Um, I was lazy. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Didn't get to it. I've kind of just been enjoying being home, I guess you could say. Um, yeah, I was gonna do that because it was a very serious moment for me. I felt I was supposed to graduate with them. I obviously didn't, of course, nothing bad. Um, didn't get to graduate, but I wanted to make a video and talk about it because I just felt that it was something serious. Um, yeah, might make one later. I don't know. I still remember graduation. Emotions were very tense. Not nothing bad though. Like good emotions. I guess you could say. Yes, good emotions for sure. Excuse me. Um, yeah. Sorry about MIA. As always, though, 2 seconds. If you have anything that's like heavy on your mind, that you would like somebody to maybe speak on, or deep thought provoking or philosophical or something, um, comment it below and I will talk about it in a future video. Shout out my dog. We're in a different angle today. I was gonna make this in my room. I was gonna do this in my backyard, um, but I wasn't quite sure where to do it. This video is also very, very unplanned. So we're just chilling outside. I just got back from the gym, also not too long ago. Chicken rice, beans. I don't remember what else. Leave it. Leave it alone. Anyways, um, this video, like I said, it was unplanned. I quite literally just got a text message, and I'm not. First and foremost, I'm not going to disclose any details. Sorry, I know that makes the stories sound boring. Um, but I've had instances in the past where I've just spoke too much, and it just wasn't good. So we're not speaking at all. I'm sorry. I'll say like the bare minimum, but nothing that gives context clues or anything like that. But yeah, I just got a text message. Um, realistically, probably like an hour and a half ago. I didn't. I was at the gym, so like I said, I probably just responded maybe like 10, 15 minutes ago. Um, sorry guys. Like I said, I just got out of the gym. I still got to eat food. Um, I got a text message that it just didn't make sense to me. Um, the message read very clear. I understood the words that were in the message, but the meaning behind the message just didn't make sense. I don't really know. And like I said, I'm not saying any details, and I'm really sorry. Um, but it's just better not to, you know. But I just got a really confusing message. Um, and then it struck a thought in my mind about words and how impactful words can be. Obviously, it depends per person. Um, but yeah, fun fact. I don't remember if I showed my tattoos in another video. I know I wanted to make a video about tattoos and like as an art form, whatever. Um, I have a To Your Eternity tattoo right here. I don't really know if you can see it 'cause it's kind of far and sort of hard to see. Um, To Your Eternity. I've only seen season one because I can't cap. I've heard it's just the best season, and I've just been lazy and haven't watched season two or three. But in short, a couple reasons that I got this. One of the forefronts, if you don't know about it, basically there's an immortal being and he's just immortal. He doesn't know anything, has to learn quite literally everything. Literally, think about it like a baby. Knows Doesn't know how to walk, eat, talk, nothing. Right? I don't really know how to explain it, but just Google it. But one of the things that I valued about it so much and why I got it tattooed on me, is because obviously, like one aspect is like being alive, having this experience to sit down and make a YouTube video and being alive and being a human and breathing and existing. I greatly appreciate that. Um, but another one is just words mean so much. I don't know. The reason like why say that is because to translate it to the anime, his name is Fushi, the main character. Um, Fushi knows nothing. Like I said, it's quite literally like training a baby. You know, you teach a baby how to speak. You teach it what words mean. You know how to form proper sentences, and I don't even know how to explain it for real. But like one of the things that I valued about the anime is because Fushi doesn't know how to exist. I guess you could say he has to be taught how to exist. And one of the things with that is I just find value in the way that people speak to him is because like he doesn't know what memories are. He has like you at some point see him experiencing his first memory. You know what I mean? But I don't really don't know where I was going to go with that memory aspect. But it's just one of those things that I found because Fushi doesn't know how to exist. He has to be taught how to exist. Words mean so much to him because he doesn't know anything. Fushi, the main character, was literally just spawned in. This isn't spoiling it, but in like the opening minutes, Fushi is a rock. He literally starts off as a rock. Kid you not, that's a rock with some sort of conscious, even though rocks really aren't conscious. But he has to like learn to be conscious. If I don't even know if this is making sense, I'd definitely recommend it. By the way, I'd say Google this if I'm not making sense. But I just found that words, and to me, how I interpreted it was just words mean so much because he knows nothing. You could tell him that the sky is purple or not. You could. This is blue. Obviously, we know the sky is blue. The sky is blue in the anime. I'm pretty sure. You could tell him the sky is yellow, and he will believe that that is yellow because he doesn't understand. So words have so much value to him, yeah, because he's just going through experiencing and simply learning. And then again, he's immortal, so everything his memories. The memories are a bit iffy. I can't really explain it too much because that's sort of spoiling it, but not really. But it's one of those like I said, you could tell him the sky's green, and he's gonna believe it because he doesn't understand how speaking to somebody really can affect you, or the things that you say just have so much power when you're unaware. I guess when you're new to things. Um, I don't know. I say the individually, obviously the base saying is actions speak louder than words. Um, I think that's kind of an unwritten rule everybody follows. Um, except I think I'm unfortunately the opposite. It's not funny, but it's funny to me. Um, sorry, like I said, Jim. But like I said though, one of the reasons I have this to eternity tattoo is because it's a reminder that words do have value, and I think maybe I overvalue them. Obviously, hence why I'm making this. And like I said earlier, I'm a little flipped when it comes to actions speak louder than words. Obviously, I agree, but I just hold words and speaking to such a high value. Um, but like the value that you give words, I think is different per person. Um, Something else that I was kind of going to talk about because I was looking at my tattoo earlier, and I have my tattoo in my notes, like the reasons that I got them or like what they mean to me. And one of the things that I wrote next to the 2 Year Eternity one was I took a communication class. Communications, excuse me, there's an S at the end of that for all you people out there who don't know there is an S at the end of it. And something that I learned was that whether you do resonate with actions speak louder than words or whatever, however you feel about people's body language and demeanor and how they carry themselves or anything in general, is that words do mean. That's quite literally what was said in class is that words do mean. Um, and they have my neighbors across the street just got home. Well, there's I don't know. There's like a couple people who live in the house. Anyways, but the thing is that I learned in class was that words do mean. Yes, actions are the forefront. Um, I can say I don't like going on runs, but if my actions are me going out, I could say I don't like being outside, but if my actions are me being outside, going on a walk or whatever, make it make sense. But that was something that I learned is that words do mean and words truly have value. Um, I've always been more of an emotional person. Um, Not that that's bad. I don't know. I contributed to being raised by women predominantly. Um, but then it's also kind of just who I am and my character profile because I'm just a more emotional person. Um, but words mean. I think everybody holds the value of words to a different standard. I like to say I value them a lot, in part because I'm an only child. So I feel it's one of those as an only child, you either have hella friends and you're I sit in that apartment at some point. So I would have to be at the playground talking to hella friends, whatever. But the main thing is that I feel like as an only child, it's either you mainly speak in your head, like a lot. You speak to yourself all the time internally, or you're only external and you speak out loud, or you're kind of like back and forth. I don't know. I'm personally back and forth. Um, but again, this is from my own experiences. I don't really actually know a lot of only children. I lied. I know a handful, but I don't know how like their experience being an only child was. I don't know. But like me, for example, I will go back and forth. I have a thought in my mind, and then I'll respond out loud, kind of like having a conversation with somebody. Like the person asking the questions is my conscious, and the person speaking is my body. I don't know. Quite literally, like sitting down in a room having a conversation, and there's two people in there. My conscious is asking all the questions, and my body's giving all the responses. I don't know. But I think that because of that, and me being only child, I've just valued words so much because I'm a, like only child and single parent, so it's kind of one of those. Whatever I hear, whatever is spoken to me, it's kind of just I just go with it. I don't know. My mom's worked a lot. No shame to her, by the way. Got to pay bills. Got to get the kid toys. Got to make sure kids happy. You know what I'm saying? Food, water, all that stuff. Um, but I've always just valued words a lot since I've been little. Um, and I can't really give you a specific example because I'm gonna be so honest. I think I've said this in previous videos. A lot of my childhood is like a blur. I really don't remember a lot of it, to be honest, which kind of sucks. Um, but I've just moved around so much, went to a lot of different schools, so I really don't remember a lot of my childhood. Um, Kind of like prior to like middle school. I remember like handfuls and like bits and pieces. Obviously, like there's a core things that I remember, but the gist of it is I kind of just don't really remember a lot. But the thing that I'm getting at is because it's kind of just been me and my mom um, early on before there was school and before there was teachers. I've just valued words a lot. Um, I don't know, and I think that's also something that kind of is just like I said. I'm more of an emotional person than most, but I don't know. Dude, I don't even know, bro. I don't know. My mind's so like conflicted right now, like confused, misunderstanding. I don't even know. Like I said, I'm confused, brother. That text message threw me off, but it's okay. Like I think that people underestimate the value of words, and I say I don't. This is just me speaking from my perspective and what I've seen. Um, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like how I think about it is when you have a conversation with somebody, there's you're not consciously aware. Excuse me, you're not consciously aware of what you're going to say because it feels like in a conversation most of the time it's kind of just back and forth. Obviously, there are moments where you pause to think, and that's a little bit different. But I'm just saying when it comes to just speaking in general, I feel that there's not a lot of thought. I know there's one of those like you can probably think of a time where you saw somebody and you had a split second thought of A or B, and then you obviously pick one. Um, but I'm not speaking in that context. I don't even know if I'm making any sense here, guys. I'm sorry, but like I don't want to say that people underestimate the value of words or devalue the power that words have. I don't think that at all. I think that's a bad thing to say because I think it's one of those people do know what they're saying. Um, but at the same time, it gets a little confusing. I don't know. Like I said, I can't really provide any examples, but my thing is like I just don't understand how words can be said, and I understand actions differ sometimes. Um, as in like I'm not the biggest fan of going outside, right? Not I don't like going outside or I'm not going to go outside. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, right? Implying that I'll probably be inside, but I still do go outside or I still tolerate going outside. I don't mind going outside, right? And obviously, if I said I don't mind going I don't mind being outside, it would imply that I feel some type of way about being outside, but you wouldn't know how I really feel about it until my actions come prevalent. I'm either staying inside all the time or I'm going back and forth. But it's one of those, you're saying something and implying a message, but you can't tell if it's too vague or not. I don't know. Like, I don't know, bro. I really have no idea. I'm kind of just here right now. If none of this is making sense, I'm sorry, guys. I really am. This is my form of decompression, I guess you could say. Um, Stare into the tree across the street and occasionally look at the camera and speak. I don't know. My brain just has a hard time understanding how ineffectively or effectively you can communicate, and you have words and you have thoughts and you have opinions. And how I think about it is when you say, like, how I think about it is when something serious is said, my mind interprets it as, okay, how often did you think about this, right? Um, is this something that you thought about while you're in the shower before you go to bed? Is it something that you think about when you're in the room by yourself with, only music playing and your doors closed and your lights off? Is it something that the whatever it is you may have said, is it something that you thought about while you were out running errands, or while you're out going on a walk, while you're doing work, whatever it may be? I just have a hard time processing, like, when strong things are said, how how serious were those things you said? I don't know. Um, there's a person out there, if you're watching this, um, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know how obvious it is, or I don't, excuse me. There's a person out there, if you're watching this, um, I'm just confused. I just am. Um, hmm, how do I word it? Like I said, I'm just confused because I think, I don't know if people devalue what words are, or if they just kind of, it's language. You're just speaking. Words are just words. It's just like I said. I am just really having a hard time, and I'm really confused and misunderstanding how people can use such specific words and such strong words and impactful and meaningful words, but then it just doesn't follow up. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense or not. Right. And I'm saying there doesn't have to be an action that follows up with those said words, but it's the premise of them. Like I said, these are strong words. These are impactful words. Pretend I'm writing an essay right now using only super big words. You'd be reading it and be like, okay, but what's the true value of all these big words? I understand the big words, but what's the true value of it? I understand strong words were said, but what's the true value of it? Is this something that you thought about in confinement, um, on a run, or is it something that you just took a quick rinse off shower because you, I don't know, had somewhere to go and you didn't want to be stinky, and you just thought of it in the shower? Like, I don't know. I don't know, guys, and I'm sorry if I'm not making sense, but I feel that, just, I don't know if people understand how much words truly do affect others. And this isn't a bad way. Like I said person, if you're watching this, this isn't anything bad at all. My brain's just confused, guys. I'm sorry. Like, there doesn't I wouldn't say there always has to be a follow up between words and actions. Um, Now I will say timeout because I don't want that to sound bad. Um, that obviously depends on what's being said. If I tell somebody I'm gonna meet them somewhere, then they're gonna expect me to meet them somewhere. And if I don't meet them, that could be taken as a sign of disrespect, or you not holding your word. You're not. having your true integrity or whatever. It could be a lot of things. Um, but if I tell somebody, um, I'm running late, I gotta get gas, but I just woke up late or something. I don't know, something like a white lie. You know what I mean? It's one of those. My actions will show that I'll be there at some point, but the words are simply just different. Um, it's a fib. It's a subtle lie that's not gonna hurt anybody, but there's still an action behind it that shows that at some point you were gonna show up, even if you were really getting gas or if you did just sleep in late. You know, I'm just really confused, guys. I really am. Sorry, and I wish I could explain to you guys more context to maybe express my mind clearer. Um, there's just no need to. I don't know, and then in a respectful manner, there's no need to give context. It won't benefit you guys at all. You'll just be hearing me talk about my life. But I don't even know if anything I've said's made sense, guys. Sorry. Um, I don't know, bro. My brain is just having a really hard time processing how just things can be said, right? And whether or not there was an action to follow said words, there's it's the words in general. The words in general. It's like promising a little kid something, right? Little kids, they I feel little kids hear the word promise and they think it's this like have to type of deal. Like if you promise a little kid you're gonna show up to his birthday party and you don't show up to his birthday party, that little kid's gonna be torn. Like flat out. That little kid's gonna be torn because you promised them, you said a strong, impactful word that you were gonna be there. And you didn't go to their party. You might have got them a present, but it doesn't matter if you weren't there. I don't know. And I'd say like I don't know if that's the situation I'm in, but I don't know. It's also hard, and I know this is another reason I feel this video isn't making the most sense in the world. Sorry guys, I gotta like put this inside. Look, I'm not even touching it. Um. Anyways, I know. Damn it! I lost my train of thought. I got it for 2 seconds. I forgot everything. Like you tell a little kid you're gonna be there. You promise them you're gonna be there, but then you're not there. You get them a present, but they don't know you got them a present because they're not there. Point being is, you promised them. You said a really big word that has a lot of value, and you're just not following up on those big words. I don't know. I mean, I know for a kid and even for an adult, maybe that'd be a lot more intense because the adult um, can maybe feel a certain way about it. But it's also one of those, the person who didn't show up, you also don't know why they didn't show up. Um, and maybe that's something I'm not now realizing until I just spoke those words out loud. I remember what I was gonna say. This situation that I'm in is very brand new. It's not even very new. It's brand new for me. I'd say I'm quite literally having a brand new experience, like a one of one experience, a very fresh experience. I don't think my mind's ever been in this situation before that it is in. And I'm just not sure how to go about it. I'm obviously gonna do me and do life, but it's just the premise of it. I'm I'm just unknowledgeable in what's happening right now. It's my brain's never had this. It's like going to the zoo for the first time. Not even going to the zoo for the first time. It's really like doing anything for the very first time. You're not sure how to react. You're not sure how it's supposed to go. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to think about it. You don't know how to feel about it. That's what I'm in right now. Is my brain's having another brand new thing happen to it that's never happened before. But it stems from the power of words. I don't know. Um, I don't think I've been watching a lot of like mental stuff. Um, I don't know, because my brain health's been a little fried. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Um, so I'm trying to get back in the rhythm of like watching, you know, mental health based things or just psychology related things to just kind of fly land on my thumb. Psychology based things to kind of just help my mind wander and think new things and hear different voices speak on different things. Um, I don't know, it just helps me. I'm also really big into psychology in general. That's actually my minor. I used to be a psych major. Irrelevant though. So that's kind of what I've been doing these last couple of days. I'd say maybe 2 3 days. Um, I don't know. I definitely think like words are at the forefront. I'd say words are at the forefront, and this is a at the moment thought. So I take this with a grain of salt, of course. Um, I don't know. Words are at the forefront because obviously actions show a lot. If how do I word it? I can do something, but you don't know why I did it or what the context was without words. I can tell you something and then do something, and it'll make a lot more sense because I use the power of words to say or express something. I don't know, guys. I'm terribly sorry if this video is making no sense. This, like I said, this is my form of decompression. Um, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like I just can't comprehend. I just can't. And there's, like I said, there's a lot more to this story than what I'm telling you guys. But words just have so much value to them, and it might be on me for valuing words the way that I do. That might be a flaw of mine. I don't know. I kind of think it's a flaw of mine, um, because I'm sure in another life you could convince me that the sky's yellow and it's not blue, and I'll probably just believe you. I don't know, but like my brain's just having a really conflicting time understanding how words were and the usage of them and the scenario of them and just communicating in general, and how through time it feels like the words. Now, I'm not gonna say don't matter, but it's hard to tell if the words had value, you know, and I think it's hard to tell if they had value because there's no direct action showing that they had value. Um, there's been instances, but nothing set in stone saying, "Hey, these words mean this." Um, I don't even know if that made sense. Sorry, but my neighbor just, or one of the people who lives across the street, just got home and it threw me off. Sorry, but I don't. I'm just. It's just really confusing, just understanding words and what they really mean. I don't even know. It's like telling somebody I like the game. Do you really like the game? I don't know. That's like that's so vague and like such a random thing like spread out. But like it's like you ever have that one friend who's just in a group or a group of people you may know or whatever. You just know somebody, right? And you obviously have things in common. You have common interests. You have things you like to talk about, whatever, whatever. But let's say like you're talking about the game, for example, right? And you're talking about the game and they're making it seem like they have great interest in the game. They could talk about it forever or whatever it may be. But then it's basically like their gameplay doesn't match how they described the game. I don't even know if it's making sense or not, guys. I'm so sorry, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you see them hop on the game. You know they're there playing the game. But how y'all talked about the game, and when it comes to the actual game being played, running 2K or whatever it is, it's kind of like, dog, you're way more ass at 2K than what you made it seem to be. That's so. Oh, that doesn't even make sense, bro. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. What's up, twin? You wanna say hi? This is Midas. This is my big fella right here. This guy. This guy just keeps my sanity. I'll tell you that. And this right here is my little lady, little shoddy. Her name's Gaia. Um, yeah, this is my gang. What? Stop that. Stop. This is mine. Anyways, I don't know. Like I said, this is something very new for me. My brain's experiencing just a brand new experience. Um, and I'm just not sure how to go about it. I don't know. It's because again, like I said, the reason my brain's having such a hard experience is because of the power of words and because of just words in general. Um, you create an image. Obviously, we create our own image. And a lot of the times, it's you create that image to comfort you. Um, but you can't unsay anything. There's not an undo button when you speak. There's not a time machine that exists so you can go back 10 seconds and unsay what you said. Words are words. They're set in stone. They can never be deleted. You can not use certain words again, but once you say something, it can never be unsaid. And I think that's just something that I'm having a really hard time understanding is that words simply can't be unsaid. I think that's what makes the most sense to me. I don't know. I'd encourage you guys, if anything I've said here has made sense, or if you've learned anything, or I've sparked a thought of yours, I really don't know. I'm sorry. If I have, then hey, I'm happy for you. It's good. I would encourage you guys to, I don't know, learn words, learn bigger words, just have a better vernacular. It's a good one right there. I learned that from the Netflix show You. Or, uh, I like that actor. As I watched a thing of him talking about the show. Anyways, that's relevant. Really smart guy, by the way. Really smart guy. I hate the show. Love hate relationship. It's like it's good, but it's annoying good. That's why I hate it. Anyways, I would encourage you guys to expand your vocabulary, learn bigger words, learn better words to truly find how you feel, to truly express how you feel. I'd say in this last week, I've had a lot of trouble finding words to express how I feel. I haven't been Googling words. I'm gonna be so for real. But like earlier before I made this, I was talking to myself and then I was sitting there, I was like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I don't have any negative emotions. I don't have any bitterness, any spite, but, or I'd say, but if anything, it's just confusion. But I feel like confusion is nowhere near the word I'm looking for. I feel like confusion's down here and the word I'm looking for is way up here, but it's at the same time nothing negative. There's no bitterness, there's no spite, there's no anger, but it's really just like confusion, but at like a mass level. I don't know. I would encourage you guys to expand your vocabulary, learn bigger words so you can kind of connect more with yourself. If you're in a heightened state, you're in an emotional state for whatever means, you can communicate to yourself how you really feel. Because that's, like I said, that's something I've been struggling with this last weekend or this last week, is communicating to myself how I really feel, just because I can't find the right words. I'm more of a song person. Um, what makes sense in my mind is I can play a song and that song is the perfect representation of how I feel. I could tell you to just sit there, close your eyes, lay flat, and be immersive. But it's one of those, how I perceive the song is not how you perceive the song, so you're not gonna get the same experience. But like that's what my equivalent to big words is music. I can play a song and it is 110% exactly how I feel. Whatever emotion I may have, I don't even know what it is. That song is the emotion that I feel. Right? Go find good music too, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, to get back to the main topic, because I don't want to stray too far, and I don't even know how long I've been recording. I should probably get up and look. I'd encourage you to look up words, increase your vocabulary. So it's one of those. whether or not you're a good communicator, or you speak very vaguely, or you're the yapper in the friend group, or you're the person in the friend who just like spits out like random ass like wise things to say. I don't know. Find bigger words. Learn learn new words, because I don't want to say in the time we're in right now there's a lack of communicating. I do feel that there is, just technology. It's kind of altering our brains in terms of how we interact with people, how we speak with people, how we carry ourselves around people. Short story short, I was just listening to Joe Bart philosophy, something about humanity's falling apart, something like that. It's one of his most recent philosophy videos, and there's this part in it in the beginning, I'd like to say, where the video he's reacting to, it's talking about how um person like I think, don't quote me on this, obviously you go watch it for yourself. There's a doctor at a Subway, someone's like having a seizure or something, I don't remember. They need medical attention basically, and people are walking by, but then the doctor's like, I can save his life, but I have places to be, I have something really important to do, but I can save his life. But also people are walking by not paying him any attention. It's just, I think society is just something that's changing us and getting us to the point where where we do walk past a person who needs medical attention on the ground, and you're just like, damn twin, I need gas, sorry. But like what I'm saying is, it's like it's disconnecting us from communicating, right? That's why I'm saying learn bigger words so you can communicate. And I think it's one of those that, because we're getting disconnected from each other and society, I think words do have a lot of value. And I'm going to be biased here, like I said, but I think that because we're getting distant from each other, that words have tremendous value. Whether or not you think the same that I do, I'm down for disagreeing. I love disagreeing, matter of fact. Um, it's still the context, you know. If you're getting distant from somebody, how are you supposed to not get distant? Speaking to them by using words, communicating. I don't know. If you're getting distant from somebody, what are the actions you can do to try to not get distant? Doesn't make sense. I don't know. Um, like I said, I'd encourage you to just learn new words, learn how to speak better, learn how to carry yourself differently. And this isn't anything bad towards anybody, but like, do it for yourself though. You know what I mean? Learn how to learn new words, have a better vocabulary, have more insightful words, so when it comes to speaking to somebody, you can say the right things. Um, mean what you say. I don't know. Um, because like I said, I feel that words do have a lot of meaning, and I can say personally, um, when I hear somebody use a big word that I've never heard, I ask what it means, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel it's one of those, because doing so, I feel, and like I said, this is bias, my personal bias. I feel like in my experiences, when I've had a conversation with somebody, they use a big word, I ask what it means, they tell me what it means. I feel that our conversation has been more authentic, because I don't want to say because you're explaining to me what it is that you said, but like, it's the context of it, right? If you're using a big word, and then I say, hey, I don't know what that means, and you're like, oh, it means this. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I understand that. And then I think about what you said and how I'd fit that word with the definition. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? I think it's one of those, it just makes it more clear. And I guess like I would like to say it makes it more authentic. Um, I don't know, just because you're like dumbing a word down, opposed to if I just said something and left it at surface level, at the super basic version of how to say it, you just like it. I feel like it'd be in one ear and out the other. But because you have a better vocabulary and you understand bigger words, it's gonna get somebody's attention. Like, it gets my attention all the time. I have a friend out there, and if you're watching this, what's up, twin? He has a timer, to study vocabulary. I think it's super random, but at the same time, it's one of those. He's the same friend. We can have a conversation. He'll use a big word. I'm like, twin, what the hell is that word? And then he'll say it, and I'm like, okay, what you communicated to me makes so much sense. I understand what you've said. Um, maybe because it's you added additional clarification onto it, which might be why it makes sense. I don't really know. Um, but I think it's still just the context. Like, if you ask somebody to elaborate on something, would it not make your mind trust them the slightest bit more? I don't even think, I don't think that's the right words. Like, huh? What am I trying to get at here? I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. What's your message, twin? Good talk. I would just say, additionally, to if you feel a strong way, sit on that feeling, right? Think about it while you're in the shower alone, while you're doing work by yourself, or while you're in your room with your headphones on and the doors closed and the lights off, or when you're going on a walk. Take out your headphones and just think about, speak to yourself about how you feel, and come to terms with it. Think to yourself, does this really make sense what I'm saying, or am I just spewing nonsense? I don't know. I don't want to say spewing nonsense because I feel like that sounds bad, but like, if you have a strong thought or a strong desire, strong passion, strong thought, because we're talking about words here. I feel if you have a strong thought, sit in that thought, right? But obviously express it. Say it out loud. Say that thought that you're feeling. Say those words out loud to yourself. Be like, how does this sound? Does it sound real? Does it sound like I mean it? Does it sound like I don't mean it? Is there another way that I could say it to make it sound better? I don't know. Like, that's personally what I do. Um, in this same context to my life as to the kind of the reason I'm making this video. Um, I had a random thought one day, and I caught myself. I was in the shower because I remember very specifically. I call it my shower thoughts. That's why I'd be thinking about some serious shit. Um, I was in the shower thinking as usual, and then a thought struck my mind, and I was like, "Whoa, that was weird. I haven't thought about that before." And then I sat, I was thinking about it, those what it was for a little bit till I got out of the shower. And then I got out the shower, and then I remember I said it out loud to myself to hear how it sounded, to after I heard it, how did I feel after I said it, to give me a guide of, hey, is this really how I felt, or was that just a shower thought? I don't know, right? And I found, again, like I said, for me personally, I've found that because of doing so, it's helped me be somewhat clear. I don't do this all the time. I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of these things that I tell you to do in my videos, I actually don't practice myself. And I'm dead serious when I say that. I really don't. I don't know why. It's actually a terrible habit of mine, but I don't practice a lot of things that I say. I had recently today, actually, I made a post on my story. This is a side rant. I made a post on my story, and then I read it, and then I just did exactly as I said on my story. I don't know. Basically, like, what it was on my story. Um, it was, I was doing box jumps, single leg box jumps. I was going like left leg, right leg, whatever. Max height 60 inches. I like 54 because there was all but one box. 54 inches, single leg box jumps. Obviously, like, I'm running, by the way, so I'm not gonna just stand there and just, just jump up that high. No, it's crazy. Um, I got my first one. I did my left leg. I did my right leg, or excuse me, I did my right leg, got it. I did my left leg, got it, and I went back to my right leg. I didn't get it. One of the things that I always do when it comes to me training, if I don't get something, I just do it again right after, or at least within like a minute. If I'm lifting, I don't get the weight. I wait like 30 seconds, get it again. Either I get it or I don't. Box jumps, same thing. I don't get it on the first try. Turn around, uh, smack my leg. I got a little, whatever. That's a side story. Uh, do that, lock back in, do it again, right? I did right leg, got it. Left leg, got it. Right leg, missed. Right, my toe hit the box, didn't get it. Tried doing it again, I didn't get it again. And then I posted on my story later that day. What did I even say? Basically, like, the result might not have been what you wanted, but just smile and, like, trust, or like, don't get mad at the fact that it wasn't the result you wanted. Um, but just like trust in it. I don't know. I don't remember what it was specifically. I really wish I did because it's probably still up right now, actually. Um, but yeah, and if I'm gonna be so for real, it was not about weightlifting at all. That the box jump of me failing and saying that, or me saying that it was not about box jumps. It was just something to post it about box jumps. But there's like context, so you get the point. Like they both, like it's talking about real life stuff, but then it's like you see me failing, and like I would say like in part I do want to get the box jumps. Like I said, I got 1 out of 3 on my right leg, but I can always go back to the gym right now and probably jump that again and make it right now. But you get the point. Um, I don't know. There was a bigger meaning behind the post. Um, I don't know. A lot of people don't know that, but it's okay. They don't have to know. Not that it's a bad thing, but I wonder how long I've been recording for. I've been here for a while. I haven't even touched my food. I don't know. I really just encourage you guys to just like whether or not you expand your vocabulary and learn big words and big synonyms. That's up to you. I could be unbothered. I encourage it because it makes you sound a lot smarter. Uh, and personally, I feel kind of cool when I use a big word when I'm talking to somebody and they don't know what it means. So there's that. But that's my personal bias. Um, expand your vocabulary. Don't expand your vocabulary. That's up to you. But I would just encourage you guys to sit just sit in your thoughts. I don't know. That's so vague because I feel like everybody does that. Like who the fuck doesn't sit and think to themselves? Duh. Everyone does that. But it's like if you really have a strong thought, just really think about that. Just really think about that. Like, you know what I mean? If I tell somebody that I like me personally, hate is a very strong word. How I view it, I do not hate anybody. Um, I don't really hate anything. Because me, it's just a it's like dislike, but to the absolute max regard. Um, I don't know. I dislike running. I hate running. They're two. They hold astronomically different values. You know, I I dislike sitting outside on my porch because there's mosquitoes. I hate sitting outside on my porch because there's mosquitoes. It's not. They're nowhere near the same thing, right? But where was I even going with that? I don't know. Like I said, understand what words mean to you. I think that I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just gonna let it flow. Understand what words mean to you, especially if it's a serious one. That's why I brought up hate, is because for me, hate's a very serious word. So I think if I had a shower thought and the word hate was brought up in my shower thought, that's something that I'd definitely think about. I'd ponder in it. I while I'm in the shower, I'm gonna think, okay, why am I even using this word hate? It's such a strong word. Why would I hate something? What could have caused me to get to this point where I use this word? And then I'd think about it out loud, talking to myself. Okay, these are the circumstances. I brought up this word hate. This is how I feel about it to really gauge how I'm feeling and if that word is the right one. And I guess I'd say that's what I encourage you guys to do. I don't know. I'll probably do this already. Y'all are probably pretty smart people, but I think it's just one of those. The power of words. And then again, like I said, this is just my life. This is my personal experience. I go to a small college school, like 2,000 people, 2.5K, something like that. I don't know, pretty small. But I moved around a lot. Went to two different high schools. Yeah, I don't know why I had to think about that. Went to two different high schools, one middle school, a lot of elementary schools. But I would really just say, like, whenever it comes to strong words, think about that word. But really, like, I don't even know, bro. I think what I'm trying to get at is, like I said, from my perspective in my life and my personal bias, I feel that people don't see the true value of words and what communicating with somebody can really do. I think that people don't fully acknowledge that. And like I said, this stems from me being an only child, me, you know, ups and downs in my childhood and things being said and not being followed up or whatever it may be. Like all of this stems from 16-year-old and younger me. You know what I mean? That's where all of this stems from. That's where my mindset towards this video stems from, is from 8-year-old B out there. Something happened to him, and now he deems communicating so high up there. And I can't even lie. I'm not the most effective communicator myself. I think it's a human fault of ours. Um, I don't even like psychologists. I'm not throwing any shade because I actually love psychologists, but my one of my professors can say this. You know, she's a got her master's, excuse me, doctorate, excuse me. We don't bash our teachers. She got her doctorate, and it's one of those. Even she'll like when her and her husband get into little arguments or whatever it may be. Even she finds herself not communicating to the degree that she wants to. And I know that's just a human fault of ours, is we don't communicate as effective as we should, or how we preach. Um, I myself am very at fault for that. There's a specific moment in my head, but I can't speak it. Sorry, guys. But I don't know. I think just also, like I said earlier, because of how the state of that we're in with just technology and everything, I wouldn't even say everything's advancing. Like obviously, there's things advancing. Like we went to the moon and back in like a week, some like a month ago. That was pretty dope. That was pretty cool. I was low key wondering how long it was gonna take to do it, but we did it pretty fast. Um, but like I was like, point being, we're evolving, we're improving, technology's advancing, and I think because of all these things, it's slowly just separating us. I feel like it gets harder and harder to have conversations with people. Um, you just don't know what they're gonna say. You don't know how they're gonna act towards the situation or anything like that. And I feel like it's just getting harder and harder to just communicate with people. Therefore, leading to the lack of communication and the lack of true understanding towards each other. The more influenced you are by technology, and the more screen time you may have, the less effective of a communicator you're going to be. I don't know. And this is just in a broad sense. I'm not speaking to anybody around. This is just in a broad sense. It's just words coming to mind. But is there an ant on my shoe? There's not. I don't know. Anyways, but like, I just think that words just get undervalued. I don't know. That's a strong thing to say. I don't know if it's. I don't know if I want to necessarily say that. I think words do get valued. I think it's how we perceive them, which is what we attach how much value they have to them. Like I said earlier, somebody else may not deem the word hate as a strong word. My perception of the word hate is that it is a very strong word, but I don't use the word. I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere, but I lost it. Like I think what I'm trying to get at is because we're subconsciously like disconnected and getting more disconnected, that communicating and speaking just doesn't hold the same weight that I feel it should. And this is, like I said, this is me personally. I don't know. I feel that communicating should be, or at least speaking should just be very highly regarded. I think if you tell somebody something, obviously if your actions back it, would be pretty dope. But it's one of those, like, don't tell somebody you hate them if you don't hate them. I don't know. Like me, like for example, I value the word hate as a strong word. Why would I tell somebody I hate them if, one, I understand my own understanding, or hello? Why would I tell somebody I hate them if I already know that the word hate has a lot of value and it is a strong word to me? Why would I tell them that if I don't mean it? I don't even know if that makes sense, bro. Like, and because we're getting so, I feel we're getting detached, that we just don't understand words. We just don't understand speaking clearly. If you're gonna, if I say I hate something, why would I not act like I hate it? And I'm not saying that it's like a bad thing. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sorry, my mind's all over the place. I don't know. I think I'm good now. Um, if anything I had said made sense here, or you learned something, or you maybe thought a new thought, or got insight, I don't know. That's good. Keep trying to do that. Keep trying to get new thoughts, to get more insight, to better yourself. That's the only thing you can do. I think that nobody can bring you more peace than yourself. Nobody can make you happier than yourself, because nobody knows you better than yourself. You figure yourself out the best when you're in those moments in the shower, or when you're on a run with no headphones, or you're doing something. I don't know. You can figure out what words you really want to use. Um, if you learn something, that's good. It's nice to know. Happy. Um, I don't know. Like I said, this video is kind of all over the place because as I said earlier, I just got a very confusing text message, and I didn't really know what to think about it. And this video kind of inspired it. I guess not inspired, but kind of like, I don't know. I got a confusing message, and I wasn't sure how to feel about it, and I'm still not. And because I wasn't sure how to feel about it, I set my phone up in my front yard and pressed record to hear myself think out loud as a form of decompression, to maybe make the message make sense. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Explore yourself internally, externally. Don't let your subconscious mind take over. Speak out loud. If you can control what you say out loud to yourself, you can control what you think when you're not speaking at all. Um, Subconscious is very, very, very powerful. If you tell yourself something in your head a lot, at some point it's going to go from the back of your mind to the front of your mind. If I tell myself in my head that I don't like the gym, at some point I'm not going to go to the gym. This is a, I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is just an example. But what I'm saying is, like, speak out loud, speak to yourself, figure out if the words you're using are the right words. Figure out if that's if the image that you what you said in your head, is that really how you want to say it out loud. Say, if you have a really crazy deep thought, or a dark thought, or a bad thought, say that out loud. Figure out, how did saying that make you really feel. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it relief? Was it stress? Did you get tense? Did you get worrisome? What how did you feel whenever you said those deep, serious thoughts? I don't know. Sorry if this is all over the place. Like I said, my brain's been kind of fried these past couple of days. Um, but I'm kind of just taking it one day at a time. I think in the shower, I thank God for letting me wake up and experience new things and perceive new things and create new memories, even if they're something that I'm going to forget in a week. I still appreciate it. Um, so I would just encourage you guys to do the same. I don't know. That's all I got, I guess. Comment, do that stuff. Love you guys. Thank you for your time.